any second now.
Yes, and we are off. Fabiano opens up with the move 1e4 just like last week. I guess Hikaru is going to stick to the Berlin, and I expect Fabiano to choose a different line. Oh, he goes for the Italian.
Wow, this I did not expect. I don't, maybe you can tell us how much Italians Fabiano has been playing. I always felt Ruy Lopez, of course, was his main. Is this a surprise to you?
Yeah, it is a little bit of a surprise to me. He goes for the strict sideline with knight d2. Now Hikaru could take on e4. He could also take on d2 and go d5 in the center. Lots of options here for black, so let's see which one he will go for.
And even from the fact that Hikaru is thinking, it's clear that the Italian probably also caught him by surprise.
I guess so, yeah. Fabiano definitely must have prepared this. So he goes for a bit more of a direct approach. So Hikaru catches the pawn on e4 d5, played instantly by Fabiano. Now I guess Hikaru, he trades on d2, so now Fabiano's going to take. You go to queen, you move the knight. d6 is practically h4.
Wow! Oh my goodness!
He is just going for the attack right away.
I mean, this is really, this is really not what I was expecting. I thought, okay, Fabiano will play a quiet game, but he's showing really a completely different side here. Just going, that h-pawn is running up the board.
Yeah, so Hikaru goes pawn on d6, ready to develop his bishop, and Fabiano goes pawn to h5. Now the pawn on h5 is also very nice because it restricts this knight on e7, so Hikaru goes h6, not allowing Fabiano to go pawn h6 himself, and Fabiano goes queen side castles. Now what is Hikaru gonna do? He could go king side castles, but that's always gonna run into g4, g5 sooner or later, and against a well-prepared Fabiano Caruana, that is not gonna be a lot of fun.
Absolutely, Fabiano is up almost 10 seconds from his starting time, so very clearly he has looked at all this. Hikaru did castle, but surely it's not without danger castling into this upcoming attack, knowing that Fabiano has looked at this probably very recently. This is very, very scary territory for Hikaru, but I'm sure it's also a double-edged sword, of course. What do you think Hikaru should do? Should he try and open up the queen side? Should he do something to stop white attack on the king side? What do you think black should do?
Yeah, so white makes his intentions very clear. He wants to go g4. I think he should play the move bishop g4 to stop white from going g4. And then the question is, what is Fabiano gonna do? Like, you could play someone like queen f4, but maybe he just keeps that sort of blockade there over the f3 square for now. But white could still try to overcome it. I don't really see how Hikaru could create any sort of counterplay on the queen side, because I guess Fabiano will always just ignore it and just start pushing on this side of the board. And given the fact, once again, that Fabiano has 10 minutes
position is on the verge of collapse. Queen c7, and now what? Does the knight jump again? Is there any discovery here?
Maybe knight e5 hitting the queen, and the knight could come at the point. Actually, knight e5 looks crushing, because if you go queen e7, also this pawn falls. So I don't see what Hikaru could do there to try to hang on in the game. Fabiano feels like he must feel like there's got to be something here that should just win on the spot.
Yeah, I'm sure he's looking at these knight moves. Knight e5 looks very tempting. Hikaru down to 15 seconds, and it feels like this might be the final thing. Just how do I end this game? Calculated pretty much to the end, and then go for it.
95 was played by Fabiano, and 96 blitzed out by Hikaru. He's trying to pull the red last resource out of the position. I feel like even if white takes everything and goes into this rookie game, he should be winning, but maybe there's something even more winning for Fabiano. Let's see what he will come up with, but he must feel that he's on the verge of winning this game and move on to the finals.
Absolutely, and it really feels, I'm with you, the end game, the rook ending looks promising, but this position feels like there must be something crushing. I would be absolutely shocked if Fabi doesn't have anything better, but it looks like we will go down the rook end game, which Fabiano will have just estimated is to be quite an easy win. Do we simply take on f6 and then use those two pawns?
Yeah, this just looks winning for white. You can go like rook f8, the threat at e7, black would be forced to give a check and go rook e1, but then you start pushing the other pawn. And with two connected passages, this has got to be an easy win for Fabiano. You can just go king d3, don't care about this pawn, because these two pawns are going to decide the game, so this is about to be over, I think.
Yeah, and now, do you play rook f8, or can you even start with e7? So rook b3 check, and the king is just stepping back, keeping an eye on the square on e3. Now rook b4 made a lot of sense to try and give a check, and the king is just gonna run around, hide on f6, and the e-pawn will push.
Indeed, yeah, king f6 looks like the most straightforward way. e7 is coming soon, this b-pawn is not going anywhere, and Hikaru has resigned. So Fabiano wins again, a crushing game, and he moves on to the finals.
Wow, what a game by Fabiano Caruana. We saw him, we see what it means to him. Look at him on camera, it's not so